So juggling is a really noble skill to try and acquire. It's a skill that I always thought that I would never be able to acquire because I thought it was just confined to people who were athletically gifted or people who were really well coordinated left and right sides. Once I started to try to initially juggle, I found it very frustrating, and what I realised was that frustration is born out of the anticipation that we're going to be good at something without ever putting in the work. And that's true to everything in life. Juggling is no different. It's just all about getting a process and creating the logical steps to get there. There's a huge amount of benefits to juggling, both eye-hand coordination, spatial awareness, connecting left and right sides of the brain, just all those kinesthetic skills that we want to develop. But I think the biggest benefit to juggling is it just reinforces that skills can be developed at any time in our lives, and that the plasticity of the brain is very much open as we get older, and that once we can unlock these new skills, we can unlock new levels of self-belief and new levels of commitment to go and acquire bigger things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a tutorial and give you some logical steps so that you can try to acquire the skill. It's something that you can pass down to your kids, something that you can play around with your friends, and it gets people moving, gets people thinking, gets people learning, and gets people looking at a bigger picture. We can create a world of self-development as opposed to self-limitation, and that's where we are at the moment. So watch the tutorial. Any questions, you can hit me up on my social media links, on my Facebook, my Twitter, or my Instagram accounts. Juggling, let's start with one ball. In terms of what we use, I just have hockey balls. You can buy juggling balls, slivers, any ball at all, fruit, whatever it is. Just, it doesn't matter. Let's not get too technical with the apparatus or what we have. Just juggle what you have and what's close. First of all, from a very remedial level, people might want to just start with one ball. The very first drill is just to throw and catch. Just throw. Okay, release and catch with the same hand. You swap over, it's just about releasing and catching with the same hand. What we don't want to do is throw too far out in front. If you throw too far out in front, when you start adding 2 and 3 balls, then you're moving to try to rebalance all the time, and it's going to interrupt your patterns. Second thing, you want to throw and catch with the opposite side. So we're just throwing and catching. So we're just building the connections between the left hand and the right hand, building these simple coordination patterns. And these drills might look very easy, and for the more advanced or intermediate people they are, but they may be your starting point. Again, you don't want to throw out in front and reach, so a pretty useful drill is to use a wall, where the wall will act as a reference, so you can just get a better understanding in terms of your spatial awareness. Once you've mastered those two, you can move on to 2. So what we want to do here is throw. Once one is just starting to fall, throw the other one and catch. So a common mistake we see here is someone throws and they pass. And that was a very frustrating point. It was a sticking point for me when I was starting to learn initially. I was doing this, and I guarantee an awful lot of people will do the very same thing. So again, what we want to do is focus on, once we release and catch. I also found a useful tip was to count. So I would go 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, catch. Once we have that, and we've gotten over the sticking point of doing this, and we're pretty comfortable releasing and catching with both sides, you can try to add the third ball. And again, this is where the counting comes in. Having the different colours is quite useful as well. So, orange ball is first. 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, catch. So now I'm going to keep counting. 1, 2, 3, catch. 1, 2, 3, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, catch. And then before you know it, you're just starting to coordinate and you're working through. So I think that that number system is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then you start to develop the juggle. Once you've gone past that, what I've been working on lately is throwing one ball from the outside. So we start with one ball coming from the outside, so we can go orange ball, comes outside. So outside. And again, of course, you want to do that with both hands. And there are endless variations to juggling. But there we got a couple to get started. Just get used to getting the 3 moving. Start with 1, then get to 2, then get to 3. Then work on different tricks. As you can see, I dropped them there in the demo, and that's all part of the process. It's growth from failure is a value that everyone should try and hold highly to. And if you do that, and if you live your life to those kind of values, then you'll always learn, because failure is part of the process, as I said at the intro. Another good cue actually is, I learned this from one of the guys at the gym, is actually to start learning to juggle in front of a bed. So then when you do drop them, you don't have to bend down as far, because inevitably you're going to end up dropping a lot of the balls. So give that one a go, and I'll make some more videos in terms of more technical patterns as I start to develop myself as well.